Welcome to Thrive Radio. I'm your host, Amy Montgomery, entrepreneur and digital marketing agency owner. Today, my guest is Clarissa Castillo-Ramsey. She's a leadership and life coach who helps multi-passionate creatives who are ready to plan their corporate exit and start building their businesses using their unique talents. Clarissa, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, Amy.
Yeah, so can you share your journey with us, how you became a coach, and why did you decide to help creatives?
Yeah, great question. Something that I knew early on in my life was two things. I'm a creative, I'm an artist, and I really love helping people. And I'll fast forward to my college days. I took marketing and human resource management because I thought with my interests, this is probably the best thing that I can do. And my parents approve it because back then I was just wanted to be a good kid, get good grades, and make my parents happy. And there was one class that I really fell in love with, which was called organizational behavior. And that's where I first learned about coaching and working with people and helping them develop in organizations. But it was a new field back then. And so I was not confident enough to start my career there. I came back full circle, went back to school, got my doctorate in organizational psychology, where I studied coaching, and that just solidified it. That was where I wanted to be. I also did some coaching training with the Coaching Training Institute. And that was my last career. That was my dream career. And then after 11 years of doing that, I also knew I wanted to work for myself. And so I pivoted out of the corporate space in 2021. Pandemic made me really get that going and do something about it. And why creatives? Because I'm a creative, those are my people. And I'm really tired of that old adage of the starving artist. And I know so many artists that are thriving. And I knew that I wasn't the only creative who was in a 9-to-5 that wanted to get out. And so those are the people that I really wanted to work with and help.
I love that. So let's talk about strategy a little bit. So there's somebody that is a creative, they're in a 9-to-5 and they really want to start to shift to create their own business. What's the best strategy to start with?
Yeah, that's such another great question. I think sometimes we can just get so focused on, I just want to make money. I just want to make money. I want to sell my art. And a lot of times people find that, okay, now this thing that I love so much, now I hate it. So first, I would just ask yourself, if you're even thinking about it, how does that feel? How does it feel to be selling your art, that being your primary source of income? And there's so many other things that you can do. So what I would also suggest is just think about that, because maybe you just want it to be your passion. And I know we're going to probably talk later about what else you can do with your artwork. But I would also say, if you're thinking about leaving your 9-to-5, what are your strengths? What other things are you passionate about? How else can you bring in income? And just really start to take time and take inventory doing that. I think so many people just rush into, oh my God, how am I going to make money, without really doing that inner work first and really tapping into, what do I enjoy doing? And if you don't know, because I think for a lot of us, our strengths are just so innate, we don't think about it. So sometimes I have clients that are like, well, I don't really know what my strengths are. So I say, go ask your coworkers. What was your last performance review? What did your boss say? What are you known for? And just start there before thinking about leaving.
Yeah, I love what you said too, that doing a little bit of inner work. I think you and I talked about this a little bit about how the entrepreneur journey is a tough one and it is a wild ride. And so if you're not prepared for that, it can be a little bit of a shocker, especially I think because on social media, there's so much information about the successes, not so much what it takes to get there.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. So what are some of the top ways that creatives can monetize their work besides selling it?
Yeah, there are so many ways. So I'll just talk about a few. So you can put your artwork on products. That's what I did. You can go the print on demand route. I created a deck of affirmation cards, and that's one thing that I sell that has my artwork on it. You can also put events together. Maybe there are other artists in your area. You could put a show together, and it doesn't need to be in a gallery. I think sometimes we overcomplicate things. This could be at somebody's house. This could be in somebody's backyard. Who do you know that has a nice house that maybe you could do a collaborative art show? And then you, as the leader of that, can, every artist you bring in, you take some money from them as their like submission fee, and you can make money that way. You can also put a course together. Maybe you have a special technique that you are open to sharing, and maybe you just put some different courses together. And those are just a couple of ways that you can monetize in addition to selling your artwork.
I like that. So what's the best way to replace income and generate reoccurring revenue? I think that a lot of people, they struggle with that because it's okay, they make a transaction. What about the recurring revenue?
Yeah, that's another great question. And this is what I tell my clients. Don't leave without a plan. Don't leave without also saving money and having some of that in the bank so that you're not so stressed out about making that transition. Because like you said, Amy, on social media, it really looks like, oh yeah, you can just all of a sudden make 100K in no time. And yes, there are people who can do that, but I think that is not true for so many people. It takes a little bit of time. It takes a couple years. And so that's one piece, is just, I just say stash some cash before you leave. And then for me, what has been great for revenue, continued revenue, is coaching and having a high ticket coaching package. And if you're a creative and maybe like, okay, maybe I'm not going to make a ton of money selling my artwork, who could you help coach? And just consider it, because that is really a quick way to bring in consistent money. Another thing that you can do is put on events. So this is how I have made consistent money, is also by doing quarterly events where I bring people together and I sell the recording of that event. And then I have my offer on the back end, which is usually to book a call with me, see if we're a right fit. And that has really been super helpful just to keep that income coming in.
So what are some of the other things that you think creatives should prepare for when they take that leap as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said earlier, prepare and have your finances in order. Know how much your monthly expenses are going to be. And then I would say add another 25% on top of that for all the things that you didn't think about. And I would also say start connecting with people who are doing what you're interested in doing. See if you can get into their space. See if they need help. I think with social media, and I don't want you to be annoying and DM everybody, maybe there are certain people that you can comment on their feed, be of value, and then maybe outreach to one or two and just ask if there's anything that you can do to support them so that they start recognizing who you are. And I can't emphasize enough to just start building your network. Start building your network, connect with people, connect with other creatives, go on Facebook and see what creative Facebook groups are out there. And then the other thing that I wanted to say was, which totally escaped me, work with a coach, work with a mentor, because you can do it all on your own. If you want, you can YouTube it, you can read all the books, you can listen to all the podcast episodes, which is great. But then that's just going to prolong the time for you to probably get to where you want to go, because you're piecemealing everything together. So I would also say, take a chunk of change, and whoever you resonate with, invest in yourself and hire a business coach. Hire somebody who can help you get started and put some systems in place and help you get your offer going, and just be that support.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So what do you think has been your truth that has gotten you this far in your journey?
I would say just keep going. I used to hate that phrase, embrace the journey, but it's true. And I think the more tenacity you have, the consistency, fail quickly, learn from your mistakes, and just don't give up. Keep going.
Yeah, definitely. And can you share some of your client success stories with us?
Yeah, I would love to. So, some of my client success stories are just actually helping people transition from being in the 9 to 5, being in a job that they cannot stand, and starting their own creative business. And so that has been so awesome to see. Other client success stories are, I think at the beginning, it is so confusing, all the different things that you can do as a creative to get your work out there. So I have also helped my clients really just streamline and get focus on the things that they need to focus on to move the needle forward. And I think also a majority of this work, as we talked about earlier, is that inner work. So for me, another great thing I think that all my clients have seen is that it is possible. It is possible. You do not have to stay in a day job. You can do what you love doing and make a living from it. So it's really also just helping them see that's even possible and just breaking down the numbers. It's just math. If you want $100,000, you can splice that up in so many different ways and so many different offers. And I think that just makes it seem a little bit easier and more digestible.
Yeah, having that plan, that solid plan.
Yes.
Execution, I think, is huge. If you know what you're supposed to do to produce the results, it makes it a lot easier, because if your results aren't coming in, oh, I forgot to XYZ.
Yeah,
It makes it a
for
lot easier.
sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
So I know that your journey as entrepreneurship is fairly new this year,
Yes.
but starting out so far, if you're able to give yourself one piece of advice when you first started out, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. I would tell myself, do not overthink. Don't overthink. If just do it. Just do it and know that the first time you do anything is probably going to suck. It's probably not going to be your best work, but that is how you learn. And so that's what I say to everybody who is on this journey. Don't overthink it and just take action, take massive action every day.
Love that. So if there are people that are listening that would love to work with you, what is the best way to contact you?
You can contact me through Instagram. I'll just say that at CCR_sunshine. Shoot me a DM and let me know that you heard about me through Amy's podcast. And I would love to connect with you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'll put all your links down below as well. Clarissa, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your expertise.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, definitely. If you're listening and you want more information about this broadcast and upcoming shows, you can visit acalltothrive.com. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful week.